my necklaces. There you go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Eden's Fun Crochet. I am Eden, and today we will be talking about everything crochet, just like every podcast. So let's just jump right into finished objects. I have a confession to make. I started a new project. I know I said I wasn't going to be starting any new projects until I finished all of my old ones, but I needed to start something new. Like, it's hard to explain. I really needed to do this. And I absolutely love it. So this is a Hamburg shawl by Stitch with Passion. It's a triangle shawl, and it is just beautiful. Just beautiful. I crocheted it in 2 days, and I know this is the most flattering way to wear a shawl, but I just like feeling like I'm all wrapped up and cozy in it, like it's more like a blanket than a shawl. But I love it, so that's how I wear it, even though I look like a grandma. But it's okay, because I have a personality of a grandma. Anyway, this is my Hamburg shawl. It took me 2 days to do it while doing other things, not just 2 solid days of crocheting. But I picked out the colors December of 2018, I think. Because I was doing a blanket and I fell in love with these colors, but there wasn't enough in this type of yarn to make the blanket I needed out of. Because I was doing like 8 different colors or something. And this yarn only had like 5 colors, but I just absolutely loved these 2 colors together. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's like, I mean, you can see that it's purple and orange, but on camera it looks more, I don't know, the orange looks more faded, but it's just, I love the shawl. And so I got these 2 colors thinking I was going to make something fall-esque with them. I wasn't sure what, 'cause like 2 skeins is too much for a hat, but I could do like a scarf or something. But then life happened and they got shoved to the top of my shelf, and I never even but all week I've been looking at them and I'm like, I really want to, it's not even fall, it's spring. And oh, it's up on my wall, I should probably grab it, but I made a Halloween dream catcher with like a bat on it, and I just think it's really funny because I've been in the Halloween mood and I want to make like a Halloween blanket, and I'm just very fall-y right now in the middle of spring. But yeah, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. So I did it, and it was really good for my mental health. I absolutely loved every stitch of it. And all these projects that I'm working on are things that other people started, and so I don't have the motivation or like the excitement to work on them like I did this. This was perfect every minute of the way. And the pattern I used, the Hamburg shawl by Stitch with Passion, it was an amazing pattern. Super easy to follow. It was free and it worked up really quickly. It was just every minute of it I absolutely loved. Well, except for one part where I messed up. And it was on the longer rows, not the shorter rows, but the longer rows. And I messed up right in the middle. And I didn't notice until I had finished the row and went back. And and it was like right in the middle where you like increase. And so I went to increase, but there wasn't a spot to do it. So I had to undo it all the way back. So it was I undid pretty much a whole row. Anyway, that part was the only not exciting part, but other than that, I absolutely loved making this shawl, and it is so beautiful. And I used up all the yarn. I'll show you how much yarn I have left. this is all the yarn that I was left with. So that was a lot of fun, making that. And so I was doing, so the pattern that it calls for, sorry, I had an alarm. The pattern that it calls for, in the pattern, it has one solid color. I did stripe, but then, so I did, because it's kind of like solid and then lacy and then solid and then lacy, so I did that for a stripe. So it's solid and then lacy and then solid and then lacy, but then I ran out of orange, so it's solid, lacy, solid. So this stripe's a little bit shorter, but then I was planning on going until I ran out of the purple anyway. And so then this stripe is even shorter. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I like it. It was kind of my mom's idea. My mom never really has good ideas when it comes to crocheting. I ask her a question and she like says something so elaborate and weird, and I'm just like, what? Usually I have to go to my dad. But she had a really good idea doing that. So I love this shawl. Absolutely love it. My other finished object, which I didn't think I was going to have done because the working with it kind of hurt my hands. But once I kind of got to a good point in it, I just didn't even realize my hands hurt until I was done. I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. But it was fun to work on. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen it. If you don't follow me on Instagram, Eden's Fun Crochet. So this hat is absolutely amazing. So it's the November Sky Beanie by the Cozy Cottage Crochet, and I love it. There are some things that it wasn't the pattern, it was me that I messed up on, and I'm going to fix my next one. And I'm making this one for my brother. I actually started it as soon as I finished this hat, and then I kind of stopped. But yesterday I was talking about it with my brother, and I was like, do you like my hat? And he was like, yeah, I do. And he never, he says anything about my crochet, and I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, I like it. And I was like, do you want one? Do you want me to make you one? And he was like, sure. And I was like, in what color? And he's like, I like that color. And I was like, really? So this is going to be his hat. I'm going to have to measure to his head because I'm sure his head is a lot bigger than mine. Speaking about hats, you've probably already heard of the hat not hate thing that's been going on. When I was in Girl Scouts, we did a non-bullying, anti-bullying thing. One of the girls was super passionate about it, and so each one of us would have a badge that we would be in charge of, and so this was hers, and we made blue bracelets and stuff. And so when this hat not hate thing came out, I was like, oh, it made me think of her immediately. And whenever I see stuff like this, if it's Red Cross or anything that's doing crochet related or any kind of campaigns, I'm always like, ooh, I'm gonna do that, and then I never do it. But since they're taking hats all the way till August, I feel better about it because there's a long time where I can, and they're hats, so I can make one in a day. And so I'm like, I'm gonna do it, but I was like, I probably won't do it. I always say I'm gonna do it, and then I never do. But today, I woke up and I was just and I haven't thought about it in a couple days, but this morning I woke up and I was just like, I'm gonna do it. I'm actually going to do it. So here's all my blue yarn. If you don't know what Hat Not Hate is, go check it out. It explains everything on the website. It is a campaign where they knit, crochet, whatever, hats that are 75% blue, and blue is the anti-bullying color, and so it's in support of anti-bullying. So they're going to hand out these hats at schools and stuff, and so that's really exciting. I'm excited. I'm gonna do at least 2 hats, but I want to do a whole bunch. But knowing me, I probably won't. So I really want to do that. If you haven't heard of it, then check it out. She's on Instagram. I love watching like the little videos of like the kids or even adults talking about hat knotting, and it's amazing. I love this one cute little blonde kid who has this like super cute jean jacket. I like watch his video over and over again. I'm like, I love this kid. Anyway, so check it out. If you have extra blue yarn and you want to make a hat, go ahead and do it. It is really cool. They have a goal of 100,000 hats, I think it is. Don't quote me on that, but I'm gonna do it. I'm actually gonna do it this time. You should too. So that's that. And then I have one more finished object. I think I said I only had 2, but I have one more. So this, so Mother's Day is in a week, a couple days. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, it's in a couple days. So my mom, she is a very practical woman. She always asks for things that she needs, not wants. Like, I asked her what she wanted, and she said, well, I told her I had $2 in my wallet, hoping that she would ask for something crocheted, because she knows I have a bunch of yarn. And so I was like, I have $2 in my wallet. What do you want? And she was like, I want screwdrivers. And I was like, really? Because they're 97 cents when you buy just the regular ones. So I bought her 2 flatheads. And then I crocheted her a bouquet of flowers. She has no idea that I made these. And usually when I make her stuff, I'm like, what colors do you want? What do you want with this? Look at this. I'm very showy. And I'm like, when I wear my hat, I'm like, look at my hat, like 17 times. Every time I wear it, I'm like, look at my hat. The other day it was super hot and I was wearing my hat. My mom's like, and I'm like, I like it, okay? Don't judge me. Because it's a thinner weight yarn, so it's not as thick as my other hats. So I like wearing it. But anyway, I just looked up crochet flowers on YouTube, like several different flowers, and then so I love this one, probably just because I put the button in it, but this one was a really quick makeup. It was really quick to make up. But yeah, I just have several different flowers, all varying. I have some little ones that are kind of hiding, but I should probably put one right on the top because you can see all the ends. But yep, that's my little bouquet of flowers, and I put rice in the bottom so it will it will stand, because if I put rice in the whole thing, then it would just be like putting fluff in it. So I put rice in just the bottom and then fluff in the rest of it so that it will stand up. And her favorite colors are purple and yellow and purple, in that order, yellow, purple. But she likes pastels. I'm like bright, bold colors, and she's like pastels. So I did it in pastels. So that was that. I'm hiding it in this bag so that she doesn't like walk in my room and see it. Which this is also my November Sky Beanie bag. I need more bags. I just got rid of like a ton of them because I never used them, and then when I started putting my projects in them, I was like, really? I just got rid of a ton of them. When I say ton, I mean like 3. But so that's that. So those are my finished objects. Before I go into my works in progress, I'm going to talk about my yarn that I dyed. What was I saying? Oh, the yarn that I did tie-dye and cotton yarn because I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money on like wool yarn, and it can't be like acrylic and stuff, man-made fibers. So I and I didn't want to like go to a store because I just because we buy our essential stuff at Walmart. So when we go there during like the whole quarantine thing, I just grab tie-dye and cotton yarn. So, and I did just small amounts because I was just testing things out. This one turned out just like I wanted to. It's absolutely beautiful. So it's light pink and dark pink with like specks of black in it. Absolutely love it. This one was supposed to be white with like specks of colors. You could kind of see it more in the middle where it's like more colorful, but the blue like hecka bled, and so it's like a blue ball with other colors in it. And then this was kind of Christmassy, but so these three, so I was babysitting my nephew Noah. He's 4, so he did these 3. This is Christmassy. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but it's like green and white and red. And then this one's like blue with like a little bit of purple. And then this one I think was red and blue, but it's mostly just blue. So those are my, and so I ordered more yarn online, and I still have tie-dye. And then I also ordered a ball winder. I've been wanting to buy one forever. It's gonna help a lot, especially with like, oh, you can't see, but I have one that's just all balls and they always roll off. And so having the ball winder is going to be really nice because they're going to be in the little skeins. So I ordered that and the yarn. I think the ball winder is coming today. And then I kind of wish I would have bought a wood one, but I just bought a plastic one because I am cheap and I don't have a lot of money. So that's my yarn. I absolutely love this one. This was the one that I was like, if any of them work out, this is the one I want to work out. And it did. Well, yeah, it did. Took me a minute to figure it out, but I did it. It took forever too, because I was a lot more careful with it, and I was like, tied it, and so that's my yarn that I dyed. And then, okay, so my works in progress. The ones that I've actually worked on, because between this and the hat and like everything, I haven't really done a lot. But I'm not sure. I think I showed this last time. This was, I think it was supposed to be a baby blanket. But then I was like, because it's such a small yarn, and then they're working in just the back loops, and it's single crochet with a small hook. I was like, I am not putting this much effort into a baby blanket that I'm just gonna give to somebody. Especially since I redid 2 rows like 4 times because I kept messing up. And so I was like, okay, like, no. But it's super beautiful, and I love these colors. I'm not sure if you could tell, but the white has like specks of like blue, green, and pink in it. It's super cute. So I was like, I'm gonna make it into a shawl because it's like a good length, and not a shawl, a cardigan. And I was like, that's super cute. I'm totally gonna do that, and it's for me, so I can do this horrible stitch the whole way. Well, after redoing the 2 rows like 4 times, I was like, okay, no. I'm done with this. So I drew it out. I kind of sketched around with different ideas, and I came up with, I'm gonna do like this much of different patterns up the back. And then because of my yarn, because I have more of this than the greenish color, so I'm gonna do the sleeves out of this. Maybe I'll probably do short sleeves or like quarter length sleeves because I'm not sure how much yarn I have, if I have enough yarn to do what I want. So I started the next section. Not sure if you can see that. So it's just gonna be stripes. It's kind of like going to one side, but it will work itself out. So that's what the stripes are a little bit smaller. I'm doing 2 rows instead of 4 row stripes. So that's that. And then I'm thinking for the next section, I'm going to do like a waffle stitch or something and have it be like the squares in this color, but textured so that it's like, it evens out. So that's what I worked on it a lot, and then I just kind of worked on other things. Like this. I'm going to like invest in one of those like shawl pins or brooches or something. But because I did get some money, so I've been like buying everything that I've been just like waiting to buy, and so I'm like, I'm gonna buy everything, and then I'm gonna have no money again. But I am gonna want to get one of those shawl pins. I've been like looking at pictures and stuff online. I'm like, ooh. And then, so this I've shown on the podcast before. This is a pillowcase that I started making forever ago. Honestly, I'm kind of done with it. But, I mean, I'm kind of done with it. I've just kind of lost motivation. But I'm working on it. I'm about halfway. So, here are my... Okay. So, this is where I left off at least June of last year, because that's when I moved to California and left everything here. So this is where I left off. So this is everything I had before I went to California. And then when I came back, I crocheted about this much before the first podcast. And then between here and the second podcast I showed this on, not even the... I might have been the second podcast. I'm not sure. But, so it wasn't a lot. Just like 3 rows. 2.5 rows. And then since then to now, about 2 rows. 1 row if you count. Because you go this way and then back. And so it's like 1 row. And then this is my stitch marker to mark me showing you now. And then this is where my hook goes. Hopefully I'll have more progress on it. I'm trying to work on it more. Because it's just a double crochet, so it's easy to lose yourself in. Which is good. But all my yarn got tangled, so I spent a long time untangling that. So... Wow. Excuse me. I keep yawning. I think I got enough sleep last night. But anyway, so I love this. I love the colors. Like, they're turning out super well. But it's taking longer than I thought it was going to. So I'm doing 2 colors together, if you can't tell. So I'm doing... So I started with the purple, and this is purple and pink, and then white, purple, pink, pink, purple, not purple, pink, orange, white, pink, orange, 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 green, white, orange, green, green, and so forth. So once I finish the blue with the green, no, I already finished the blue with the green. Once I finish the blue, it will circle back and it will be blue and purple, and then purple and pink. So that's exciting. I do like it. It's just taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Those are my only works in progress I've actually worked on. So because I'm doing the Crochet Calendar blanket with Jada and Stitches that they do every year, and they put out their new video the first Friday of every month, and I didn't realize that the first Friday of this month was the 1st, and So I just assumed that the first Friday would be tomorrow. But then I didn't realize that they already brought out the video for this month. So I looked at it and I kind of thought about changing it, just like the way, like the colors, because it's like a log cabin kind of thing. And with 2 colors. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll do this. But then I talked to my mom about it because this is for her and she knows I'm making it. So I was like, what do you think? And she was like, oh, I like this. And I was like, okay. And I just kind of threw it under my table, under my coffee table. And so I was like, I'll worry about this later. But then after sleeping on it, this was yesterday. So after sleeping on it, I was like, yeah, I like what she said, which is what they had in the video with the 2 colors. So I will probably work on that today or tomorrow. So that is like, wow. It's a work in progress, sort of. There was something else that I wanted to do. Oh, right. I already talked about it. That. I'm super excited for this. I'm actually going to do it. Hopefully. I'll start today so that I won't forget. But yeah. So I am doing another I'm doing another November Sky Beanie, but I'm planning on doing more. I like this pattern. It's a cute pattern. And it's like lightweight compared to my other hats. I do like 2 worsted weights together. No, I only did that once. But most of the hats I make, I end up not even keeping. I give them away. Once I made 7 hats in one day. And they were like all Hogwarts houses. So I made a Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin. Oh, I can't remember. This is like 2 years ago. I don't make hats that often. But, so yeah, I dyed yarn. I started and finished a project. So, let me explain. A little more about why I'm starting projects again. I'm not gonna not start projects anymore because I had so much stuff around my room. I was like, okay, I am just gonna stop starting projects. I'm only gonna finish projects, especially since I had so many not finished projects or UFOs, unfinished objects. And so because they were given to me, like they're started by someone else and then given to me, and I was so excited when I got them. I'm like, I'm gonna finish all of these and I'm gonna make them so cool. But they're kind of hard to work on, like mentally. I'm just like, I feel like I'm just kind of like lugging through it, and like it's a chore. And then with like doing the podcast and everything, I feel like I've just like, I have to crochet. And it kind of just like put a damper on me emotionally with like crocheting, and like crocheting seemed like a chore. And so I guess it's kind of, and so like I watch a lot of TV while I crochet. And so when I cut down my screen time, when I like consciously was like, okay, like I can't just sit in my room all day, like, because that was really hard on me. And so sorry, there's an airplane. I'm not sure if you can hear it. But I cut down my screen time to help get me out of my bedroom. And then that automatically cut my crochet time down. But then it really helped make me more like conscious of what I was crocheting. And I was just like, and I kept staring at this yarn, and I was like, I just need to do something more. Like, I just want to do it. And I was like looking at all these like shawl patterns online and like deciding which one I wanted to do for it. And when I decided on the pattern, I was like, I'm gonna do it. And then I did it, and I didn't really watch much TV while I was doing it. I mean, I did a little, but I wasn't like, I'm not watching TV while I crochet. I was just like wanting to get out of my bedroom more. And so I spent time outside and like in the rest of the house where there's more stuff going on. And or I would just sit in my bedroom and just crochet without watching TV, which actually was really fun. But it was just, but doing it just made me so happy, and like I loved working on it, and I loved picking out the pattern, and I loved like just like figuring out how I was doing the colors, and just all of it was just fun. And that made me realize like that's why I crochet. And I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but it was just kind of like a good wake up call, kind of like okay, like don't do that to yourself. So I'm not gonna, like, I am gonna work on the other things, but I'm not gonna seclude to just those that like someone gave me. And so I'm gonna work on those and finish them. But I'm also gonna start projects, because starting projects is the fun of crochet, and I didn't start any of those. And so it's just kind of, it was a little hard. And I've just kind of haven't been in the greatest place emotionally, and just everything on top of it, and just so, but I'm doing a lot better now. I think the shawl really helped. So I already have some other things that I have in mind, like ideas that I've had for a while that I wanted to do, but I've just been putting on the back burner until I get more stuff done. But I'm gonna start them, and I'm gonna have like 6 bajillion projects going all at once. But it's gonna be good. So I could talk about all of them all day long with you, like all the projects I want to do, but I'll talk about them once I start them. But I did buy, fine, I'll talk about it. I bought this white yarn. It was actually really funny. So, I was at Walmart with my mom, and I was like, last time we went, they didn't have any, they like half the shelves were clear of the yarn, and they didn't have any of like the Burnett blanket yarn, except for like one, but no white. And I needed white because I already have the other color I'm doing, red. And so I just needed one skein of white. And so when we were there this week, I needed like pink. And so I was like, I'm gonna get pink tie-dye. And then they didn't have any. I'm like, well, that was lame. And then my mom was like, well, do you need any yarn? Well, I was like, I didn't even buy any yarn. And she was like, well, do you need yarn? And I was like, yeah, I do need like the Burnett blanket chunky white yarn. And she was like, well, go check. And we were in the checkout line, and it was actually going kind of quick, which it never does at Walmart, at least our Walmart. And she's like, go check. And I'm like, but they didn't have any last time, they're not gonna have any this time. And she's like, go check. And I was like, no, there's no point. This line's going quick, it's on the other side of the store, it's not even gonna be there. She's like, go check. She like grabbed my face and she was like, go check. So I was like, fine. And so, and like my mom's not really that kind of person, and so it's like, okay. And so I went, and on my way over there, I was like, it's gonna be there just because I didn't think it was going to be. And it was there, so I bought it. So this is the only new yarn I bought, except for the white cotton that I ordered online. But I'll talk about that when it comes. But, so this is my new yarn to my collection. I'm gonna start a project. It might have to be a little smaller than the pattern because it calls for 2 skeins of the red, and I have 1 3/4 of a skein of red, because that, and they're actually left over from a different project. I bought way more than I needed. But I might just have to do more of the white, like have it. I'll explain next time when I actually start it. So, thank you for watching. I was going to say something before I ended. What was it? Oh, so I recorded last Thursday, and then I edited and uploaded, but I never pressed that, like, submit button, like, at the end, like, when you do everything. I thought I did, but I didn't, so I ended up not uploading the video until, like, this week. And so they're going to be, like, super close together unless I, like, forget again. But I almost didn't record today just because, like, emotionally I've been kind of all over the place, and I didn't want to be like, I didn't finish anything. But I ended up finishing this. So I am going to try and not beat myself up as much. But I'm sorry if these videos are super close together, or like they were super far apart. I'm sorry they're not consistent, but it doesn't matter because they're going to get done when they get done. And thank you for watching my videos. If you're new, please subscribe. If you're not new, thank you for continuing to watch my videos. I wasn't as like hyped up as I have been, or like I like to be hyped up because I hate watching like boring podcast videos. Like those are like my least favorite, when they're just like, hi, today I bought yarn. Like I hate that. And so I try to be more hyped up, but today I forgot to like hype myself up. So thank you for watching. I will see you next time.